Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to our Meet a Member blog series. My name is Luke Bader. I'm Director of Membership and Programs at the FAIR Institute. And with me today, I have our two newest co-chairs of our Boston chapter. They are working to restart the chapter, and a meeting is coming soon at the end of March. More details coming as soon as we confirm them. So I want to welcome Abhishek Iyer, Manager of Risk and Compliance at CarGurus, and Megan Hewett, Security Risk Manager at HubSpot. Thank you both for being here with me today and for all your work with the Institute so far.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Luke.
Thank you for having us. Look
Wonderful.
forward to
So I
talk.
want to get started to hear a little bit more about you both and hear a little bit more about just how you started with getting involved in the FAIR Institute, how you learned about FAIR and quantification, and how you kind of stepped into this world. So Megan, why don't we kick it off with you?
Yeah, so I was introduced to FAIR maybe a little over a year and a half ago by a coworker. They mentioned like maybe take a look at this framework. It might help us through our security risk management. And so ultimately took a look at the FAIR Institute website. I took the fundamentals course. I read the book. I'm in the process of going for my open FAIR certification. Fingers crossed, everything goes well in April. But yeah, that's really how all word of mouth. And I attended FairCon this year. It was really interesting being a new member and getting to meet folks and understand how they've been successful implementing this framework and this methodology in their own companies.
Wonderful. Well, hope to see you again at FairCon this fall. And for those of you listening, if you're interested, just a quick little plug. FairCon will be in New York City on November 4th and 5th. So there's more information on the website, fairconference.org, and you can come to network with other folks and hear about their programs and listen to some really interesting presentations if you're able to make it. We'd love to see you there. Abhishek, over to you. How did you first hear about FAIR and the Institute and start to get involved?
So around 3 years ago, I was looking at ways to quantify risk. As a risk professional, we talk about qualitative risk analysis a lot, and we have learned about quantitative risk analysis in school, but it was very difficult to put in practice. And as one of my old managers and mentors who have been following on LinkedIn is a big FAIR practitioner, and following him, I initially went into the website, registered as a member, started learning more about it, and then became a contributing member, read the books, and also when we were starting to do fair MAM and fair third-party risk management, uh, look forward to contributing to it. So I've been to two fair conferences. I have a great time over there and hope to be there for the New York chapter, sorry, the New York Fair Conference this year.
Wonderful. Abhishek, staying with you a little bit, since I know Megan and HubSpot, I want to talk about your really starting your journey and kind of getting some buy-in there. But Abhishek, you have a little bit more experience, a couple more years under your belt. What are some of the benefits that you've seen quantification bring to overall cyber risk management, either in presentations that you've seen or with your own work? Kind of what are some of those key benefits that you've seen from your perspective?
So the benefits has increased year over year. Initially, it was used predominantly for technology risks. As you know, there are many cybersecurity tools that would give out uh, different kinds of vulnerabilities and everything. And organizations and technology engineers have a really tough time quantifying, okay, what we should prioritize. And adding a quantitative layer to it helps everybody analyze this risk better and also helps the management team to do a detailed cost benefit analysis. As we have moved over from that to the new fair MAM requirements with
Mhm.
the new SEC requirements, I think the need for this has just increased. And I believe that every management team is expecting their CISOs and their security team to come to them with a quantitative or dollar value amount for why we have to do this.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely agree with all those and see those at many different types of organizations. You talk about technology risk, but we see it in different types of risk, different types of industry as well. So FAIR is sort of this agnostic model of risk and can be applied in different ways. Great to hear. So Megan, you all and your team at HubSpot are really just getting started now. So I'd love to know a little bit about maybe why you're choosing now, and what kind of how'd you get the buy-in to start working with FAIR? And then also, what are your quick goals for what you aim to do with your program?
Yeah, similar to what Abhishek mentioned, prioritization is really important for us here, and it's been quite challenging with sort of the traditional like qualitative risk analysis. Like we've leveraged like your impact likelihood risk heat map for years now. And for our security team, it's been challenging to know what are the right areas of focus, what are the risks that we should really be paying the most attention to when you're looking at a heat map, especially, you know, if something falls in the same quadrant,
Right.
really and truly like what's most important. And so adding like a quantification angle and really looking at the return on investment of control implementations was a huge draw for us to FAIR. And I think also one of the challenges that we've had at HubSpot historically is like communicating the state of security and IT risk,
Mhm.
especially when you think about like members of our C-suite, our board of directors. We don't want them to have to be subject matter experts on security to understand the risks posed to our business. And we want to make sure that they feel like they have the right data and information to make those decisions. And ultimately, dollars and cents are the great equalizer and a common language that everyone understands. So our hope here is that we can do a better job communicating security risk as well.
Absolutely. And I think that it's great to hear that you're working on that, because that is the main benefit of quantification, is being able to convert that risk into the language of dollars and cents, into financial terms, so that everybody can understand and can kind of get on an even playing field at the organization. And also, I think this is the one of the biggest points that Jack Jones, the author of the FAIR model, or anybody at the FAIR Institute makes, is that qualitative analysis is just too unknown and complicated, because how orange is this orange and how red is this red, to your point, Megan, where if it falls on the same area, that's a tough decision to make. So this kind of really helps prioritization for sure.
Yeah, and it's very subjective too, right?
Right.
Like it all depends on who's part of the conversation, who's
Yeah.
driving the conversation. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
quantification is a win.
Absolutely. Abhishek, kind of bouncing off of Megan's point in what they aim to do with communicating risk to the business, have you experienced any successes there in your work? And can you give us some examples or some tips and tools for folks who are listening, who might be getting involved for the first time, and really trying to understand the key benefits there?
Yes. So I think the biggest benefactors of doing this are going to be your engineering teams. You want your engineering teams to do what they do best, is build a product and not spend too much time in analyzing, oh, is it a critical, is it a high, a medium, or low? If you can provide them why, and if you can provide their management team why they have to put resources in fixing the said issue, it will help in prioritizing the work, but also you get a partner in the engineering team wherein now they know that whenever you come to them with an actual issue, it is thought thoroughly, it has a cost associated with it, and this is how we, this is why we have to do it. And end of the day, it all comes down to, like Megan says, dollars and cents.
Yeah.
And uh and 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 you get the benefit of that at every level, even in investment to your own security teams, even investment for your own like security tools. I was there at a dinner with CISOs, I think a few months ago, and there was a topic around okay, how can we talk about like budget and investment in security? And it brought me back to my master's days in 2010, where that was the key topic that was still talked about at universities. So it's
Mhm.
been, what, 14 years and we still have the same problem.
Right.
And I think FAIR is going to help us bridge it. Um, there's still some work that we have to do in that direction, but I think it's moving in the right direction.
Absolutely. And it involves people like yourselves who want to take up this leadership role and start to and continue to talk about this and bring up these topics in different areas. So really great that you are both taking up the mantle of co-chairs for the Boston chapter and reigniting this area in this post-COVID world. Kind of fizzled out a little bit there when we were all in lockdown. So really great to start to have meetings again. And like I said at the beginning of the call, the meeting is going to be at the end of March. So for folks in the Boston area, you can look forward to some emails about registration and being able to attend coming soon. Um, before, as we're kind of wrapping up here, and before I let you both go, want to just see in your perspective in the larger industry, in the larger risk management profession, what's another key thing that maybe we haven't mentioned yet that you see quantification being able to help, whether it's at any industry, at any organization, or your own? Would just kind of love to hear a little bit more of your perspective. So, Megan, anything that comes to mind for you?
I'll be interested to see how my answer changes as we implement FAIR and all of
Okay.
that. But as we start off on our journey here at HubSpot, um, maybe not necessarily like at least for us in the security risk management space, it really creates the opportunity for us, I think, to build trust across our teams.
Mhm.
Um, as a security org, there's only so much we can do to implement security controls and protect against risk. We need to make sure that we're partnering with our engineering and our IT teams. And so if we can sort of build that trust, do this analysis, show them like data-driven results and decision making, then it'll be a huge win and opportunity for us. So ask me this question again in a
I
year.
was gonna say maybe
How
we
it
should let's schedule
goes.
another interview for a
Yeah,
year from now, and then we'll talk and we'll
yeah,
hear about the work that you're doing
exactly,
and we'll
exactly.
get a cool update. So we're laughing, but I'm not kidding.
Yeah. And
uh,
again, like that's why I'm really excited to be
yeah,
a co-chair of this chapter as well. Like attending FairCon and getting the opportunity to meet people who have done this at other organizations. I'm just so excited to learn from everyone to
yeah,
understand what worked for them, also what hasn't, any potential pitfalls and things to look for. So
yeah.
yeah, I'm very much looking forward to building this community in Boston.
Awesome. Yeah, things to watch out for are just as important as things to go for too. That's a good point. Abhishek, how about you? Any sort of other thoughts in the industry, in the space that we haven't mentioned yet?
So one thing that I would like to really point out that we are at a very interesting time with AI.
Mhm.
And we have had data in the past, but we may not have had the right type of compute power, or had to have like Power BI or PhDs or scientists who had to look at this data. Now with AI, we can calculate the fair formulas much more quicker, and you don't have to be a probability or a mathematician to be able to understand this. And so AI is going to help us move in that direction very fast. We
Mhm.
have a lot of data points which we may not have had before, around like the types of attacks and types of breaches that are happening. And so that, and then the other point is third party risk. I think third party risk is a huge uh, point that we have to use FAIR in order to help the organizations.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And our research work groups on both of those topics are working to propose new learning materials, training materials, workshops that we're going to be putting out this year to talk about how FAIR and AI or FAIR and TPRM are integrated and can work in an organization. So that's great to hear that that's aligned there. Well, thank you both so much for taking the time and chatting with me today and sharing your stories a little bit. and for starting up the Boston chapter. It's going to be really successful. I can certainly feel it. Before I let you go, one final question just for fun, but outside of risk management and risk quantification, when you're not doing all this, um, just tell the people a little bit about yourself. One fun fact that we're not going to see on your LinkedIn, if there's something you're willing to share. So Abhishek, how about you?
Um, I'm a big soccer fan
Okay.
and a big Manchester United Football Club fan.
Okay.
My club is not doing great, but uh, I have a 5-year-old that takes up a lot of my time, and I'm trying to live my youthful days through him. And so that's what I do when I'm not doing security or risk management.
Is he a soccer fan or a soccer player by any chance?
I'm pushing him in that direction. Till now, he has enjoyed it, so he's not pushing back at it. So I hope he becomes
Good.
a soccer player.
All right. Very good to hear. Megan, how about yourself?
Similar to Abhishek, I also have a toddler. I have a 3-year-old, so trying to push him towards the hobbies that he and my husband, or myself and my husband love, just so we have an excuse to go do things. But really and truly, at this stage of life, we're just trying to coordinate the chaos that is toddler life, and all of that. But I guess as a fun fact, you put me on the spot
I
here. I
know
don't
I
know if I
did.
have anything, but maybe spoiler, if you come to the Boston chapter meeting, I'll share my fun fact.
Okay. All
So
right. You leave him hanging there for a
I'll
second.
prepare. Yeah.
Yeah, we love a cliffhanger. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you both so much for your time and again for sharing. And look forward to working with you with this Boston chapter, and look forward to hosting the first meeting soon. So thanks everybody for listening. And if you have any questions or are interested in being a part of the Boston chapter presenting, please reach out and I'll get you in touch with Megan and Abhishek for sure. So thanks everybody so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Luke. You too.